Hello, we're going to do a service on the Citroen C3 Picasso this morning. I've already jacked it up. I've had the engine running for quite a while. Again, it's one I've never done before. Just going to do the oil filters, air filters, fuel filters, and obviously new oil. So I've just got to find out exactly where everything is. I'm assuming that will have to come up, but we'll work all that out as we go along. So I've already had the engine running, so it's nice and hot, so the oil will flow out quite nicely then as well. And I've got everything up on axle stands, so I think, I'm guessing the oil filter's under there somewhere. Oh no, is that it? No, we'll have a little look for that in a minute. So I'll make a start and we'll have a look how easily this goes. Fairly soon as well, I'll be doing one on this Ford Transit van as well, so we've got that to look forward to as well then. Well, I spent absolute ages trying to get their under tray off to get to the sump plug. Every bolt is rusted in and have cracked and broken parts of the tray, so that wasn't a lot of fun. There you go, trying to undo a bolt, and you can see it's snapped off. Well, here goes. It's a 21mm socket. Excuse all the judderiness, but I'm trying to do this holding a camera, so I think I'll just loosen it up first and then... Oh god, that's tight. There it goes, he's loose now, so hopefully this will not go absolutely mad everywhere. A few little drips. I still haven't found their oil filter yet, so just holding that in there so I can... Right, 3, 2, 1. There you go. It is very black, but that's quite normal for a diesel vehicle. So we'll just let that drain away, and I'll have a little hunt around for exactly where the oil filter is located. On previous vehicles I've usually accessed it from the bottom of the vehicle, but we'll have a little look around. Well, after looking forever and a day, I managed to find the air filter. I spotted it from underneath, and I think I'm going to have to move all this sort of air lines for the air filter and think... Did I say air filter or oil filter? Well, I managed to find the oil filter. And all this is in the way, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to figure out how to move all that. Seems a bit ridiculous, but I knew it was in some sort of housing because when I got the part it was just the actual paper filter, so I managed to spot it from underneath, but it looks like all these gubbins here will have to all come out. So I'll probably start off with the air filter because I've got to open that up anyway, so we'll crack on with that, see how we get on. I've just transferred all the old oil just from there into that 5 litre container. So it's sort of just the reason I sort of did it. Well, it's the easy way of me disposing of it down the local tip, but it also gives me a good indication of how much has got to go back in. So it's, I'd say, near on 4 litres. So you know, it's quite important not to overfill it as well as underfill it. So I know I'll start off, I'll put in about 4 litres to start off with and then check it. So yeah, that's sort of what's gone in, minus what's in the air filter and what I spilt. So it's quite a handy little tip if you ever want to know how much oil to put back into your engine. Well, there's one of the easier jobs is the air filter. It was just 3 little Torx bits, well, screws on top of the air filter there, and there's one single clip on the side. So that'll just slip out, I assume. Oh my gosh, that is seriously does require a clean, as you can see. Some leaves in there as well, so make sure, may as well get those out as well. And we got the new one in here, hopefully it's the right one. You have to excuse this juddery camera work, I know it's not much good, but they keep making excuses. Any difference? What do you think? So it seriously required it by the looks of it. So we'll get that in. I think it's just a matter of plonking it in. Simple pimple. Oh, I wish all the other jobs were this easy. Oh. Just got to make sure that bit's in nicely at the back there. Round. And that just plonks back on there then. I was quite shocked at how dirty that was, to be honest. I wasn't expecting that. So definitely due for a service. I personally service my vehicles annually rather than, you know, what the manufacturer might say, either annually or by mileage. And this wasn't actually due for a service, but it's been quite a long time since the last one was done, just because, well, according to the computer it wasn't due, because I got my Celica there. That gets serviced extremely and the only reason I get that one done at the garage is from brand new, it's got a full service history. So I don't know, you know, I could easily do it myself, but it's just a nice bit of paperwork. And then we'll be doing the Transit next. So if I ever come to sell it, it's come near on 18 years old, and it's been serviced at Toyota from day one, so I'll just keep that going, and I'll bite the bullet on that one, and it costs what it costs. But I think for this C3, it's a little bit more trickier than I thought, but it's just more access and things. The way engines are designed now, they don't. I don't think they like DIYers messing about with them so much. So everything's quite awkward to get to. You know, the way the engine's packed and everything like that. So. But that's just one of those things, you know, so I enjoy having a go anyway. So we'll finish this off, and then I'll try getting all these pipes out of the way, and we'll try to get to that oil filter. And there's the fuel filter, so that looks quite interesting. So we'll have a bash at that next as well. Right, eventually got it access to the oil filter. It's down there. That's that fella down there. And as with most things I've just discovered on this vehicle, nightmare to get to. The air intake's got to come out. That's all this lot here. And I can sort of understand why the air filter is so dirty. It's coming straight obviously from the turbo, isn't it? And that's the intake there, and well, it's what it is what it is. I won't go too technical, I'll confuse myself. But yeah, so it's quite a... Right, after much bad language and obscenities, I've managed to get the oil filter off. There it is. There was an O-ring there which has fallen into oblivion somewhere, can't seem to find it, but the new filter here comes with a oil ring in there as well. So we'll get that in, and I think it's just a matter of probably best to slip that in first, I'm guessing. And we'll get that all back together, and it's just really poor access, and the radiator pipes are in the way here, so you end up pulling that out and spilling oil everywhere, and all fun and games. We'll get it back together, and then it's just a matter of just tackling the fuel filter, and obviously the most important thing of all is filling it back up with oil. There are some nutcases that have actually forgotten to do that, so that's the main thing on the agenda. Make sure it gets a good drink afterwards. Right, I'll press on with that. So unless there's any other complications, but it's obviously just the reverse of what I've done, I'll let you know, but we'll just get that back in and put it all back together, and then tackle the fuel. Right, I've had a bit of a mare. I got the wrong fuel filter. I put everything back together and got the oil back in, so it's all up and running quite nicely. Well, very nicely. And I've put their under tray back on. Let's fire it up. There's burring away quite nicely. I've managed to put the under tray on, and because I'd managed to snap so many bolts, I've used zip ties and bits and bobs, but everything's back on and everything's dry as it should be. So perhaps I'll have to do a little follow-on video of just getting the fuel filter on. I couldn't be bothered to go out again. It's rush hour now and I couldn't be bothered to get a fuel filter, so I'll do a little follow-on video with that. So please like and subscribe, and the next job we'll be doing the service on the yellow Transit over there. So that's it's a late 2005 2.4 turbo diesel Ford Transit. Here's a nice little tip just before I go. Because I got a slightly sloping drive, it works out very good to do a service, because by the time you jack the car up it's level. So that works out nice with the oil levels, and you've got a lot of space underneath there, so a little bit of a slope on a drive is quite a good thing, you know, sort of sloping down like that, so you got plenty space to work under there as well. Okay, catch you soon on the next video. Thanks.